Alright guys, I haven't done a video in a long time, and I haven't done that many videos anyway, but I kind of felt like doing an EDC video because that's some of the videos I really enjoy. So I'll kind of go over what I carry on a daily basis. It's a little blade heavy, and that's just really mostly because I really like knives. Not so much like a tactical kind of thing, anything like that. My life doesn't really involve that much of that kind of stuff. To give you guys an idea, what I do for a living is I am an assistant manager at a cell phone store, so it's super cool. So, alright, I'm just going to jump into it. So, kind of starting, I carry what I'm recording with right now, my Samsung Galaxy S8 and a otterbox Defender, because that's kind of been, in my experience, the best case for me. I have a daughter, so she's 2, so it can be a little bit rough on the phone. I usually carry it with the belt clip because I can convert it into a stand if I need to. So if we're at a restaurant or something and she needs to watch Mickey Mouse or something like that, then I have this, and then it just clips on my belt. Has a little hook there, so that's kind of neat. Most people don't really use these, but I do. I also have a screen protector on my phone called Liquid Glass. It's really cool. Not going to go into a whole sales pitch on it for you, but it's good stuff. I guess some of the more mundane stuff that I carry. I mentioned I have a daughter. This was actually a gift from my daughter and my wife for my first Father's Day. This is a saddleback leather wrap wallet. I wanted one of these for a while. I originally saw Jeff over at Cutlery Lever had this wallet, and I think he got it in the same color. This was the tobacco color originally. I say originally because it does age really well. This is a little bit closer to what the original color was, but it's kind of got the oils and everything in there, and I use a leather conditioner on this about every 2 months. Probably don't really need to, but I just want to keep it going good. Their slogan is "They'll fight over it when you're dead." It has a 100-year warranty on it, so I have no complaints, and I'm quite certain that this wallet will outlive me. So that's kind of neat to have. Circling back to cell phone stuff, I do carry daily a Samsung Galaxy Gear S2. I really want to get the Gear S3, but I haven't got around to it yet. But it's kind of a neat watch. I have the liquid glass on this too. This is my second band. They kind of, on these, I've had some issues with them ripping. So I thought about going to a magnetic one, but I do kind of have a lot of handyman stuff at the store in addition to being the assistant manager. So I don't, I'm a little worried that if I'm doing stuff with my hands or if I'm around like a safe or something like that, the magnet will come undone. So I think I'm just going to stick with this. Eventually I do want to get the Gear S3, probably the Frontier, because I really like those, but we will see how all that pans out. I kind of sticking to the more mundane stuff. This is my business card holder. This was a cheap one that I got on Amazon. I actually got matching ones for all of my staff for Christmas, which was cool. I think I'm the only one that actually uses it, but yeah, that's fine. And this holds something to the effect of, it says 25. I can usually get like 32 in here. I have some hiring cards. So if I go to a restaurant or something like that and there's somebody that really impresses me with their service, I can give them a card, say, hey, come and see me because we might be hiring. My staff's pretty good though. Not too much turnover in here or over here. This is a little moleskin notebook. It also has a couple of business cards in here because I always like to have those on hand. There's a little place here where you can write in. And sorry about the lighting, guys. This is just kind of really impromptu. If I start doing more videos, I'll have something a little bit better. But just for notes and things like that, it's ruled, and it's got, I have really bad handwriting, but I write some quotes and stuff like that that I like in here. The pages are perforated so I can rip them out if I need to. If I need to jot down a note and then hand it to somebody, I can do that. I guess I'll do my keys next. So I have a key bar, and this thing is maxed out. It doesn't have the pocket clip on it because that got bent, so there's just a generic pouch that I carry this in that was originally for like a handheld hiking GPS type deal. This is a knockoff of the P7 suspension clip. I don't use this a ton anymore, but it does come in real handy because it just clips on my pocket, so they kind of just hang like that. I've got a Samsung SIM card removal tool, which works on pretty much every phone. I've got store keys, I've got house keys, I've got all kinds of stuff on here. Now, one thing I also do is actually keep my keys separate. So this is my house and my work keys. This is my car keys. There's also a key here for my house. The logic here being, if I lock myself out of the house, I can still drive. If I lock my keys in the car, I can get into the house to get a spare key. I also carry a little Aldi quarter here for unlocking the carts. And this is actually something that my wife got me. I drive either a Toyota Prius. It's my wife's car. The man in me hates it, but the grown-up loves the gas mileage. And I also have a Chevy Trax, which is my car, that I don't get to drive that often because the gas mileage is not as great. But so I've got this Ford thing, hooks on my belt. I wear a trackline belt. I'm on my second one because I actually broke the first one, but customer service was awesome. I can do a whole thing on that later if people happen to be interested. But this is kind of cool because it's a little seatbelt click thing, so it really comes in handy. That's kind of nice. What else? Okay, I do carry. I'll get this out of the way. I do carry a gun every day. Not permitted to do so at work. Vehicle, all that good stuff. I carry a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. This is hot right now. That is a safe direction if anybody is worried about it. And I do carry it with the 8-round extended magazine in there. This is, I guess, a first gen with the thumb safety. When I bought this, I don't believe that they had the one that doesn't have the thumb safety. And this is Federal in here, 124 plus P, jacketed hollow points, all good. A lot of wear on it. I usually carry this in one of a couple of ways. You set that up there. The primary way that I carry it is actually in a pocket holster. This is a Concealment Solutions pocket Viper. I can't remember the exact name. I have a video on it. I've been carrying this for several years now. You actually can't even see the Concealment Solutions logo here anymore. And I have started using that leather conditioner on this. This is horsehide. The way it comes is it's got this molded piece here so that it locks your pistol in. And it retains it fairly well. It's originally coated with beeswax. I'm pretty sure that's all worn off on mine. But all in all, really happy with the holster. The only complaint that I have with this is that the sight is kind of sharp. I guess it's kind of a gun complaint and kind of a holster complaint. The sights are kind of sharp, and I have had these shred pockets and then actually shred pants. And shred's kind of a harsh word, I guess more like poke holes in it. But I usually either use this, or I also have this for outside the waistband if I'm in a car. This is a Galco paddle light holster. I don't use this one a ton, but if I was on a car ride or something like that, this is generally what I will use. Or I have my everyday carry bag that I may or may not do a video on, that I have a holster velcroed in there that I can keep this in too. I personally am not a huge fan of off-body carry, especially in a vehicle or in any kind of environment. Because I mean, my backpack's pretty heavy. It's probably 40-ish pounds. And I use most of the stuff in there pretty much every day. But, yeah, I'm looking at a Bravo concealment holster for this. I actually just ordered to replace this, an Alabama front pocket holster. I ordered that like 2 weeks ago, and then I went on the website to kind of try to figure out what's going on. It's terrible to track your order number on there, by the way. I actually couldn't find it, but on the front page, and I didn't even notice when I checked out, and that's my fault. Lead time is like 8 weeks. So I do want to go all Kydex. I have several other guns that I've carried and that I do carry. This is my primary. This is on me all the time when I can, of course, legally have it. The snap on this is not bad. Reholstering is concerning for me. And I usually carry with the safety off. But if I'm reholstering in this holster, I usually do put the safety on, just because it's kind of floppy. And to be honest with you, if I was ever in a situation where I had to use this, which is so unlikely, I would probably just stick it in my pocket, because I have a pocket holster there anyway, and I don't carry anything else in that pocket, so I would probably feel safer doing that if there was any kind of duress or anything like that. But those are the two primary holsters I use. I also have a Blade Tech Clip It holster, I think it's called, which is pretty good, but I don't use that terribly often. As far as reloads go, I do carry reloads for that. So this is what I've been using lately. This is a Galco, I believe this was from their Matrix series. Yeah, the M11X, if you can see that right there. This is injection molded plastic. I do carry two 8-round magazines. This is made for single stacks, but I haven't had too much trouble. They're a little tight when you first put them in there. But I like this because it's easy on, easy off. And if I'm going somewhere where I need a little bit deeper concealment, I might pull one of these out of here and use it in my, I have a Safariland, it's a leather kind of material. It's a horizontal holster. I don't have it in here. It's actually out in my car right now. That works pretty good. It's also obviously a lot less obvious than this, especially if I have a tucked in shirt, something like that. But I do use this pretty frequently, and I haven't had any issues when I switch back, because I also carry a 1911 periodically. Used to be my primary carry, but I carry the Shield way more now. But if I switch this back and I put 1911 mags in it, I don't have any issues. If anyone's curious, it's a Rock Island 1911, the more modern option. I actually have two of them, but I used the one that I carried the most, has like the Novak style of sights, the beaver tail, all that good stuff. And I carry Wilson Combat 47Ds in that. But I carry I carry 8-rounders. I carry 8-rounders in the gun itself because that just fits my hand. If Smith & Wesson would, and I know that they probably won't ever do this, but if they made it with the grip this size all the time, that would be amazing for me, because this is perfect for my hands. But I carry one for malfunction primarily. I carry two. I also, where the second one I carry would maybe be a capacity thing, but really, what are the odds that I'm going to need it? But it doesn't really cost me anything, so I figure why not have it. Also, my wife really likes Shield, and if she eventually starts carrying one, which would be my preference, but hey, it's entirely up to her. She's probably not going to carry a reload. Getting her to carry the gun would be a big enough leap. So this could be for her potentially. So I just carry both of them. I do sometimes carry a backup gun, depending on the situation. And by depending on the situation, I just kind of mean when I run out the door during the day, what pants am I wearing, how well does it fit, and to what I'm going to do that day. And I'm a big pocket carry guy. I have a Smith & Wesson 642 that I usually carry in a DeSantis Nemesis or in a DeSantis Superfly. Don't always carry that. If I carry that, I usually carry a reload for it. Don't ever anticipate needing it, but there's that. So, moving on to the knives, which are, in my opinion, really fun. Well, I'll kind of do the knives and everything else. I'll put these up. So this is my my big blade. This is a Spyderco Endura 4, and it's got the British Racing green hand. I really like the color. This is my favorite color. This is a ZDP 189. It is a pain in the butt to sharpen. That being said, it takes a wicked edge, and it lasts for a really long time. I actually don't use this one that much. I just kind of like it. It's a great knife. I'd always rather, maybe not always, but usually prefer to have a big knife as opposed to a small knife, because I can take a big knife and I can kind of hold it like this and do whatever I need to do. So you can do smaller jobs with a big knife most of the time, but you can't always do big jobs with small knives so much. But that being said, I also carry a neck knife. Let me set this here. This is another Spyderco, and I've carried, as far as neck knives goes, I've carried the SOG Snarl, I've carried the CRKT Minimalist Bowie, I've carried the CRKT Civet. I really like CRKTs. I don't have any that I'm currently using. This is the ARC. So this is an H1 steel. There's no carbon, so is it really steel? I don't know. This has the new sheath, which is cool because it has this little lock on it. However, I say that, kind of funny. But anyway, the way that I say that, I mean, the sheath does dull the blade. So I actually have a friend of mine that makes holsters and sheaths and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about maybe having him make me another sheath for it. My concern is, one, retention. Because I guess with the first generation of these sheaths, a lot of issues with them falling out. But I really like a neck knife. They're really super handy. This one's so light, it's ridiculous. I don't mind weight, but this one is super duper light. Dulls pretty quick, so I don't use it a ton. But if I'm going to the beach or anything like that, this is definitely going to probably be my primary knife, because I lost this one at the Great Lakes once, and that sucked. I was super mad because it's like a $120 knife. I didn't pay that much for it, but this one, I can't remember how much I paid for this. Most of my stuff I get on Amazon. Finally starting to be able to support places like Blade HQ. So Ben and the guys over there, that's awesome. I don't know any of them. I just watch a lot of YouTube. But yeah, I love this knife. Super light. Takes a really nice sharp edge. The idea behind this knife is kind of a like last-ditch self-defense tool option. And it would certainly work for that, I think, from the theoretical stuff that I know. I do like the shape, so I mean, if you were like stabbing like this, or if you were in a clinch, something like that, it would probably work. I would probably, if I was gonna do that, probably want something bigger. Although this is fixed blade, but this has a bigger blade. Let's just not get in knife fights. Would be my preference. But yeah, so I'm always kind of careful with this knife whenever I resheath it. Or sheath it, I guess. I would try to push this button down, and then I try to go in from the back and kind of slide it in that way. You can see it really locks in really, really nice there. I wear this, and I also have a pendant that I wear around my neck that was a gift from my daughter. She can't really buy me stuff yet, so it was a collaboration between her and my wife, we'll say. But she, it's really, really neat. I don't have it here with me. It's actually over there. I already left to go get the pocket holster. This video is probably already 15-20 minutes long, so I promise I'm almost done. So I'm not going to take time to go get that. Now, the other thing, we'll just kind of put these over here out of the way. This is a rutsu slim pocket valet. And I was really excited when I saw this because I already had this and this. And these are actually, they're on Etsy. The Rutsu company is. And they make several different versions of this. This just happened to be my favorite. The one that like would be good for women is really, really cool. It would probably also work in an EDC bag if you had like a satchel thing, but I'm sorry, tangent. But I already had both of these, and when I saw this in particular, so this is a streamlight microstream. This is the C4 single AAA thing. This is like the best EDC light ever, in my opinion. To be honest with you, I've carried a few different ones, but I'm by no means like a gear reviewer who's tried like all the Phoenix and Surefire. I've never had a Surefire. I have a couple streamlights other than this one. I have TLTs, I think. They're a special Thunder Ranch edition. I'm a big fan of Clint Smith. I've had like 3 of these. I kept losing them, but I like that it has the I guess S clip here. Maybe that's what that's called. Where I can clip it onto a hat, or I clip it onto the on my 511 Covert box pack, which is my EDC bag. They're a little laser cut, not really Molly, but you could attach Molly stuff on there. I attach it in there and just click it on and have it there. So this is my primary light. I have some bigger lights. I don't bust them out too often because this is just basic everyday carry. I do carry some extra stuff again in my bag. But yeah, so this is really cool. The Leatherman Juice S2 of Nut and Fancy fame. This is actually the newer version. I had an older version, but when I was working in a call center, terrible job, I let a guy borrow this because we had a big fan because it was really hot in there, and he actually busted this off. So I sent it to Leatherman, and they replaced it, no questions asked. It was really awesome. I did like the blade on that one a little bit more. And I don't remember particularly why, because the blades are really, really similar. The thing that really confuses me with this one, and I don't know if you can see it here, is it has this, and it almost seems like it's a mistake, but it's like kind of worn cliffy, and then right there at the end, worn cliff, sheep's foot, whatever you want to call it, it kind of goes like that, and I'm not super crazy about that. This blade doesn't get a whole lot of use. This is mostly for the scissors that I actually need to sharpen, but I do love it. These get used a lot for just cutting out small papers. I do a lot of stuff with little pieces of Velcro that have the adhesive backing. I use these to cut that stuff all the time. So Leatherman Juice S2. Here, we'll do this thing next. Let's save this one for last. This is a true utility telescoping pen. It kind of sucks. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with it. I actually have refills for it in my car. It doesn't really, you can see there, it doesn't really too much have, oops. The ink doesn't last very long in it. And could part of that be that I carry it this way? Yeah, maybe. That's always designed to be carried though, because this originally had a little keyring clip here and it would hang there. But this would also, over time, like my pen would just fall out. So that's why I kind of keep it tucked away here. I eventually want to get a Pico pen that I think should fit right there. It might be a little bit taller, but I'm cool with that. Because I like the idea of always having a pen on me. I like stuff in my backpack to either supplement or be redundant. I think pens are pretty important, so because I write stuff down. And that's going to bring me to the last item in my EDC, which is my 2017 Victorinox special edition color. This is the OD green. Or whatever they happen to call it. I think it's OD green. Love this color. So again, like the darker green is my favorite color. But this one has 2017 in it. This is actually my second one. My first one's the 2016 edition, and it's the Orchid Violet. It's purple. I actually got that. My daughter was born in 2016, and that's really, I say my knife, it's her knife when she gets old enough to have it and be responsible with it. I've actually got something coming in the mail because her birthday's coming up, and I'll do a video on it because I've not seen a video on it and I've only found it one place. So stay tuned, I guess, if you're down for that. But this is again something kind of like nothing fancy fame. A lot of people have done videos on these. It's got a pretty decent nail file and a little pick thing there. I use this sometimes if I'm kind of poking at stuff, digging around. Like today I was doing something with security at work and I was trying to kind of mess with stuff. I don't pry with any of this stuff though, because that's a really, really bad idea because I've broken several multi-tools that way. Like itty bitty screwdriver that's not super useful I found so far. Can opener on this is pretty badass. Actually, it's way better than the can opener on here. Versus my other Leathermans, and I have a couple. As good, if not better, I would say. Wire stripper, cap lifter, bottle opener, flathead screwdriver. I do use this quite a bit sometimes on my keybar when the screws can get kind of loose when I drop it on the ground, because that's not good. And you can use it there, or you can click it all the way out. It just kind of depends on what mode I'm in. And then the main blade, or the only blade on the knife, it's functional. It takes a really nice edge on it. I use a Spyderco sharp maker, if anybody's interested. An older version of it, because money. But takes a pretty decent edge. Wears down fairly quickly, so it's definitely not in the same realm of edge retention as the ZDP 189. But it's a heck of a lot better than the H1. And this is my primary knife. So this one I actually have to fish into my front left pocket to get all the time. And I've kind of gotten to the point now where I can close that, where I can slide this in and out over here without too much issue, even without taking that out of my pocket. But this one's more accessible. But I find this one to be a little bit more socially acceptable. And what I mean by it, because I know sometimes people will be like, oh, it's for cheap or whatever. Or I've never run into that problem. I'm cutting open like people's cell phone stuff, and sometimes it's older folks that I'm dealing with, where this is just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more normal than this thing. Kind of see the form factor there. It's a little bit different. This could be a little bit more intimidating for some folks. I want everybody to be comfortable. Everyone I work with knows that I'm a knife guy, and so none of them really mind it. But yeah, your customers that come in, and want everybody to be comfortable. Also, Swiss Army knife. It's classic, so I really enjoy it. But guys, it is super late, and I got to work in the morning, so I am gonna hop off here. Again, this was just kind of an impulse thing, but yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything, post them in the comments, or PM me. I don't really know how to do that. I don't really reach out to YouTube people too much, but if anybody has a question, I will try to make sure that I answer it. I know I've seen a few reviews like on this. I think Such did one. Can't remember his real name. I want to say it's Dan. Super cool guy. Really enjoy both of his channels, Such Double Lot or Such 00, and the Sensible Prepper channel. Those are really good. I've got some really cool ideas from Cliff over at Urban Prepper. If he would happen to see this video, man, please make some more videos. I miss watching your videos. Like, a lot of your EDC stuff has inspired me for my backpack. But I've obviously mentioned Cutlery Lover. Nothing fancy. I talked about a couple of times. He kind of was my first introduction to this stuff. So, but thanks for watching, guys, and take care.